Because Australia were deserved winners, and it is a fabulous, fabulous sporting group, isn't it, that Australia?
Yeah, they were the best team throughout the tournament.
We've got to say congratulations to them, haven't we?
Yes, indeed.
As painful as it is, because everyone loves a beat an Aussie. Right, that's the World Cup final covered. Let's take a look at some other results from elsewhere in the world of Rugby League. Okay, some other results to bring you then and talk about the Women's World Cup final. Rugby World Cup, I should say, has been going on at the same time as the men's. It's been a tremendous success. We'll look at the semi-finals first of all, Mark, on the 26th of November. New Zealand, as we predicted, comfortable winners over England, 52 points to 4. And the Australians did similarly, beating the Canadians 58 points to 6.
Yeah, both comprehensive, unexpected.
Yes.
Semi-final.
So what that
I can't remember if we spoke about it or not. We probably did.
We did, and we basically said that, didn't we?
Yeah, there's just not enough competition yet. I mean, when you look at this, there was 2 Northern Hemisphere sides, and they were Canada and England, so they don't have cross competition between each other. So we need the next Women's World Cup will be expanded, and hopefully within that time, the game in the Northern Hemisphere for the women can bring more competition together.
I think it will do, because the Women's Super League is growing, isn't it? So that's positive. Anyway, so that led to the final that we all anticipated, played out on the 2nd of December. Australia took on New Zealand, and the Aussies came out on top. Close affair, though, 23 points to 16 in favour of the Gillaroos.
Yeah, and the favourites won, and it's kind of what you expected, but it was a close game, and these two are really got a good rivalry. So it's good to see they've got some sort of skillful and elusive outside backs of these Aussies. So as the Kiwi Ferns have got some of the hard hitters sort of up front, you find that the space that the women's game kind of affords means some of these backs, like I think the man of the match was possibly the
woman of the match.
Player of the match was possibly one of the halves or the fullback for the Gillaroos, because they just find space and create a lot of stuff, and then get a chance to open the legs out, and the hard hitting doesn't come if you're running away from it.
No, true. That's it.
Eventually that just about told, but and a drop goal in the final.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so congratulations to the Gillaroos, world champions of the women's game. Okay, that brings us towards the end of the Super League pod. All that remains for us to do is to wrap up the show. Okay, Mark, we come to the end of the last official Super League pod proper of 2017. We have got the Christmas special Ask SLP edition to come.
Yeah, quite soon, really.
Yes, in a couple of weeks'
Given
time.
That we're in December already.
Yes, we're getting no off season, much like a lot of our favourite players. Mark, we're going to be back in a couple of weeks' time on the 20th for our Christmas edition.
We'll be back if we get any questions. I
need to start pushing the whole Ask SLP thing. People who are familiar with the podcast have probably missed Ask SLP, because we normally do one mid-season and we didn't this year, but it's our hashtag that we put out, and you can basically just ask us anything. It doesn't have to be Rugby League based, although that does help us being a Rugby League podcast, but we have had all sorts of questions in before, to do with everything from ornithology through to questions about our childhoods and all sorts. So please just let your imagination run wild. How did we get into Rugby League and things like that?
Anything, because there'll be people getting involved new, joining in to ask questions that we maybe covered in years past as well, so we don't mind retreading ground, because that's always fun for us. If you
search for the hashtag AskSLP, you'll get some ideas, because it all still is out there.
Hashtag AskSLP is how you send them to us on Twitter. What I was also thinking, it's going to lead into what you're going to do now, people could also send us a different hashtag this time around. Hashtag quiz SLP.
Right.
So they could send us quiz or trivia questions as well.
And that we have to try and answer them. And
so obviously the Ask SLPs will look at. They come in and put them together in the rundown, so we have some sort of idea.
But then on the night, we could quiz SLP.
We'll just get them up sort of closer to the time. Although we might get an idea for how many we've had, but not necessarily read through them.
Well, we can go through, can't we? And I'll be the quizmaster and we'll ask you.
Well, no, we can both. We can ask,
take it in turns.
We can read it off and ask. We can if we only pick them up on the day of the show. So obviously it's at Super League Pod on Twitter.
Yeah.
You can also send us questions on Facebook.
Yes.
Facebook.com/Super League Pod.
Yes.
And email superleaguepod@gmail.com would be the ways to go. I'm not going to set up like a Google form for this because that's work.
Yeah.
That doesn't need to be done. Send them through. The more the merrier. The better it is. The more fun we can have.
Absolutely.
So we're going to do that. We're going to record on the 20th of December. We've just decided, haven't we?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what the release date will be because we might want to release it on a different day to that to tie it in more festive times. But recording on the 20th of December, so get them in by the 19th of December, people.
That's what we need, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so to the quiz mark. My third attempt at a quiz. Now, we're not doing... Well, it's sort of a bit who am I, but there's no clues to these people. We're just going to test your more broad knowledge of some of the greats of Rugby League. Mark, Cameron Smith was named Golden Boot for 2017. So, we're going to take a long and loving look back at all the Golden Boots that have been awarded since its inception in 1984. Now, don't worry... But I told you we're going to have a long, languid look through it. So what I've done is I've broken things down into the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s onwards, okay? So we're going to talk about and give you a chance to name off a few potential winners of the Golden Boot. See how many you can name off the top of your head, and we'll give you time to think it through. You'll get 5 points for every one that you can name from the 1980s, so there's a potential 35 points on offer there, okay? You'll get 2 points for everyone that you can name from the 1990s, and you'll just get 1 point for any that you can name from the year.
Just the names, I don't have to give the years.
If you can name Golden Boot winners...
Wow, that's not as bad as...
No, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. We don't need you to get them both, I just want you to name them. So we'll start, and it's 1 point free from 2000 onwards, and of course you don't get a point for Cameron Smith this year. So it's out of 57. So we'll see how you do. So where do you want to start the conversation? Where do you want to let your brain go?
Well, I suppose it's just naming names, isn't it? And then ticking them off your list.
See if we can get to it. Absolutely.
So let's
limit it then. Let's see.
One of them will be Kevin Sinfield.
Right. Well, wait a
second.
Wait a second.
What year did he win it?
2000. Kevin Sinfield was
15.
Mark. It was 2012.
12 when we played France in that. That European tournament, and there was no Aussie internationals. Andy Farrell won it in 2004.
He did win it in 2004, but you get no extra points for knowing the year.
No, but I'm just trying to.
Let's just go until you're spent.
Well, yeah, let's talk around it. Let's throw out some names from the 80s that I think will have won it. Okay. So I think Ellery Hanley will have won it.
Ellery Hanley won the Golden Boot in 1988 whilst playing for Wigan
and Balmain.
Yeah.
I would guess Peter Sterling won it at least once.
Peter Sterling won it in 1987, playing for Parramatta.
I would guess that Brett Kenny probably won it at some point.
Kenny for Parramatta won it in 1985.
What was that Aussie fullback called in the 80s?
Can you think of who might have won the inaugural award in 1984?
84?
Yeah.
Mal Meninga, maybe?
Mal Meninga did not win it in 1984.
But he'll have won it later on.
He won it in 1989 for Canberra.
I would guess that...
There's another real legend of the game. I think there's probably 2 that you're not going to get, but 1 that you might kick yourself. For not getting. You've said Brett Kenny, you've said Peter Sterling, you've said Mal Meninga. Wally Lewis won it in 1984.
He won the first one,
from Verwine and Manly Seagulls. Do you want to call it a draw on the 80s?
Well, for now, let's leave the 80s. I might throw out some random names later on.
Okay.
Jack. Was there a guy surnamed Jack who was a fullback?
Gary Jack won it in 1986.
Yes.
The Balmain fullback. Very good. There is only 1 left for you to get in the 80s.
Well, we'll move past... I'm guessing it's an Aussie.
It is an Aussie.
So we'll just leave that for now.
Okay.
90s.
So the 90s. Let's see who you can get in the 90s.
Joey Johns would have won it in about 97, I'm guessing.
Andrew Johns won it in 1999.
Okay. Yeah. Fittler would have won it, possibly, in either in the late 90s or the early 2000s.
Brad Fittler won it in 2000.
I'm not as good on the 90s as I am on the 80s.
Well, there's probably a reason for that, Mark, because nobody was given the award between 1991 and 1998. So Andrew Johns won it in 1999. Can you tell me who won it in 1990?
Gary Schofield won it.
Gary Schofield was the Golden Boot winner in 1990. That tedious rent-a-gob. So that's the 90s covered. We've done the 90s. You got full marks for the 90s. 4 out of 4.
Oh.
Yeah. 1990 Gary Schofield, 1999 Andrew Johns, 91 and 98 nothing. So there you go. So the 90s was always going to be full marks for you. So you're only missing one from the 80s. Do you want to move into...
Well, Thurston's won it a couple of times, hasn't he?
Jonathan Thurston has won it 3 times, Mark. Jonathan Thurston has won it in 2011, 2015, and he also won it in 2013. I'm just ticking them off as I go. Who else can we think of that might have won it multiply?
Multiple times, I'm not sure. Sean Johnson's definitely won it at least once.
Sean Johnson was the Golden Boot in 2014, playing for the New Zealand Warriors.
Yeah, I would guess that Cameron Smith maybe has won it more than once.
Cameron Smith has won it. He won it in 2017, but he also won it in 2007 whilst playing for Melbourne Storm.
Billy Slater must have won it once.
2008, Billy Slater, playing for the Melbourne Storm.
Maybe Benji Marshall won it in 2005.
Benji Marshall won it in 2010.
Oh, 2010.
West Tigers, yeah.
That must have been when they won the Tri-Nations or something along those lines. Or 4 Nations, maybe. How many have I got left to get?
Well, you've got Andrew Johns as a multiple winner, so he took you to 2001. You have got one left from the 80s, and 1, 2, 3, 4... 5 left to get from 2001.
Okay. Right.
Okay, I'll start giving you a couple of clues. Okay, so in 2007, Cameron Smith won it, playing for Melbourne. In 2008, Billy Slater won it, also playing for Melbourne. The 2009 winner was a Melbourne player, but was not Cooper Cronk. Cooper Cronk did win it in 2016, so you can tick him off. But the 2009 winner was
Greg Inglis won it, yeah.
GI won it in 2009. So back to the earlier part of the 2000s, we are looking for, I'll tell you the years, we're looking for the 2002 winner, the 2003 winner, the 2005 winner, and the 2006 winner.
Are they all... have I got any English people left?
4 years, 3 names, no English.
I thought I'd got all them, yeah. Okay. Darren Lockyer must have won it at least once. Darren 2005 maybe, I'd guess.
Twice. Darren Lockyer was for the Brisbane Broncos in 2003 and 2006. 2 to get from this century.
Jared Hayne.
Jared Hayne has not won the Golden Boot.
I'm struggling.
Okay, let's give you some clues. In 2002, this New Zealand Warrior halfback went on to win it.
Stacey Jones.
Stacey Jones, there you go. And in 2005, the world's smallest violin played when this guy won. The world's biggest violin.
Is that a clue?
It's a shit clue, to be honest. I'm getting all tangled up in myself. Got a brother who plays for Hull FC. Or a cousin. They have the same surname, I forget now. He was playing for Sydney Roosters. Was a full-back.
Oh, yeah. Anthony Minicello.
Anthony Minicello was Golden Boot in 2005, which means, Mark,
that was a good one then, yeah.
You have named everyone apart from one of the 1980s winners.
Do I get any clues?
You can have 2 clues for what I know about him, which is what I have written down in front of me. That in 1987 he shared the Golden Boot with Peter Sterling.
Oh, yeah.
And he was playing for Eastern Suburbs at the time.
Do you have any idea what position he plays?
No. I can have a quick look there and see if
Can I have his